Hello Reborners, my name is Karen and this is Making Reborn Dolls with Karen. We're back with Michael and he looks like this now. He's had his bake, he's cool, his lips are painted, pretty good I think, and he's ready to get some more enhancements. I wanted to show you his creases. They don't look as exaggerated anymore. They just look like normal creases. They're not as dark and bold as they were because everything just gets lighter when it bakes. So we're ready to do a little bit on his hands and his feet. And I'm going to put first a little bit of blue on the bottom of his feet. Babies have a little, well, they say they do, a little half moon shape right here where the arch of their foot would be that's blue. And this should be having a lot of blue in it. I just used it not too long ago. There we go. It's coming out now. Oh, not getting any blue. I'm gonna dip it. Gotta watch that paint. You'll hit it with your elbow or something and knock it over. Gotta have paper towels. Okay. All right, let's see what we gotta do here. I dab that a little bit with a dabber. I can find one that's got blue on it. One of these had blue on it. Must have been this one. I don't know. It's just taking all the color away when you dab it. Oh well, might have to put it on 2 or 3 times to get it to show. Oh, this is getting frustrating. Let me try a smaller brush that might have a little darker blue on it. It's dry. That's another thing about the dry brush, and it's usually darker. It's concentrated a little bit because now it's going to show. The other one wasn't showing at all. This little brush though just doesn't have hardly any bristles, so got to do a lot of dabbing to get some blue on there. Okay, now this remainder of the foot surrounding the blue is going to be red. So we're just going to color it. Yeah, some of these brushes, I'll tell you, let me put this blue up before I knock it over. Yeah. I swear, sometimes you just get so much paint on your hands. Okay, here we go. Now you can just leave it like that and just have the bottoms of the feet red. Some people do it that way. And it's cute, and I like it. But I like the toes on the top to be red as well. So I'm gonna just do them as well. I'm gonna get another brush though. That one doesn't have any paint in it. Sometimes I end up putting my brushes mindlessly back without dipping them again, and they don't have any color in them, and then I get to the point where I need them and no paint. That's very light. We might have to do it again, but that's how it's gonna look, kind of. I want that dry while I'm doing the other foot, and we might come back to it. This one's a little too wet. There's just no perfect. I've been using my brushes just a really, really lot. And I'm trying to pick ones I didn't just use the last time I painted on the last color or the last doll. And so they have time to get a little bit drier, but then the ones I'm picking seem to be too dry or too wet. I usually try to rotate them to a different jar. That's why I have 3 jars, because I'm constantly using them. And in order to get a fresh one that's just not too fresh, you have to rotate them around. And well, I've rotated through the jars and back to this jar, and so these have already been dipped, so they're still a little wet. And they're gonna, I don't know, not have much paint in them, I guess. Okay, now on the hands, I don't do the whole hand. I just do the fingers. So we're gonna do that. Ugh, I just gotta get a brush that has some paint in it. I can't do that. Let's try this big fluffy one. These big fluffy ones, because they have so much bristles in them, so many bristles that is, they hold a lot of paint. You can paint and paint and paint with them. But when you're doing a lot of red, they run out pretty quick. Still. But I should be able to finish this with it. Sometimes it's just a matter of getting the right part of the bristles to brush across what you're trying to paint, because you're trying not to get it on the rest of the doll, so you're just sort of easily brushing it, and it's not getting anything off. Now that looks very red to me. Way better than the feet. I might have to do the feet over, I think. They are just super wet. And not very dark. Yep. I'll have to go through these brushes and divvy them out into their jars, because some of the jars just have a lot of brushes in them, because I've been wetting them and putting them in that one, and then the other jars that I've been using out of are running out of brushes. So I need to spread them out a little more. I'm just gonna have to not paint until my brushes get a little drier. I just can't go back to doing all this with wet paint. It just takes too long. So I got a lot of rooting to do. I got several heads waiting. I could just be rooting dolls. I don't constantly have to be making a doll. I feel like I do, but I don't. Get the tip of that finger, it's so curled down, to paint. It just doesn't want to. And the tips of these aren't painting very. See, they're turned down and they're against the hand. And getting the tips of them red without getting the hand all red is kind of a little bit hard. You just have to keep going at it with just the very tips of the bristles. And they're running out of paint. It's the rest of the brush that has so much paint in it. There we go. That's a little better. Dab it a little bit now because it's very harsh. Now let's see what we can do to the bottoms of these feet again. I just don't have any color. That's better. Looks like it's gonna stay. Get some on the tops here. They're just not gonna be very pink, I don't think. That's better than that. That one doesn't have any color hardly. bit. I'm going to try to refresh some of that blue. I think I knocked most of it off. I don't know. Let's see what we can do here. I do want to see the blue, even if it's not super dark or anything. That's the whole reason you put colors on your dolls, because you want to see them. Oh yeah, I wanted to check Michael and see if I could see that blue coming through his face. I don't think that worked at all. In fact, I think it was just a bust. Yeah, I think it was a bust. I don't see any blue coming through his face. Maybe he needed a second coat. I don't know. But I'm not giving him one. I'm just going to touch his cheeks up a little bit. No, I think I'll leave them. I think they're dark enough. I don't know for sure. This is just one of those preference things. Do you want it dark or do you want it lighter? You just decide for yourself. And it looks dark enough to actually make it through, but he won't be a very dark baby. He'll just be sort of a medium baby, I guess. Even the ones I thought were going to be really dark didn't come out all that dark. Babies are a little red-faced. I'm going to redo his lips and nails now, because we have to do that every time. And I'm going to put a little more color in his nose. I'm going to do that first, because I'll forget if I don't. Well, that's a little much. We'll put some more of it over here. You get too much when you turn them back up on their head, on their rim, I mean, it'll run out. And it'll look like they have a bloody nose. Okay, off with the glasses, because I can't see with them things on. Yeah, there's too much in his nose. If you get too much in their nose, the best thing to do is get a pointy swab and swab out some of it. You can sit here with your brush and wipe it on your paper towel and get some out and wipe it on your paper towel, but the swab is quicker, especially if you have a lot too much in there, because you're going to want to get it out quicker, probably, than it's going to take to do it the other way. Swabs are just invaluable when you're making dolls. You get I just got lip color all over the face, so I need to get it off, and so it just wipes off pretty much. Oh man, can't get up to the lip line. I seem to be falling short here. Oh, this one's going to be darker now because we used the same color again. And it's not going to be this dark, but it will be darker, much darker than the last time. It will still get lighter because that's what happens when we paint. It looks darker, and then when we put it in the oven and bake it, it looks lighter. Now the next coat, we can go darker if we want to and bump up those lips a little bit. We still have time though to build it up slow, so I prefer to build it up slow. But if you're getting near the end and your color's not right, after you've put 2 coats on, you should be able to bump it up a little and put a little extra on so that it'll get darker quicker. because you're nearing the end of making your doll and your lips still don't look right. What we want to avoid is having to bake them just for the lips one time because, well, I have to redo the lips because they don't look right. That's all the nails on that hand. And we don't want to have to do that. So that's why we start early and we work on it slowly. It will build up and it will get the right color. You just have to keep at it. You want to do it every time you put paint on your doll until it's the color you want. And then you'll go, well, I think I like that color. That looks real good. And then you just leave it. Thinner coats make better, smoother paint. This is hard for me because my hands are shaky. I almost need to prop it on something like that. But then you put your finger on the doll and you don't put it on their nail and got the nail polish, got the nail color off on your finger. So sometimes I prop it on my other hand like this. It's not exactly steady, but it's steadier than nothing. There we go. I have to steady my hand. Okay, now these tiny little, I don't know why they give them such big fingernails and such tiny toenails. They almost don't have a toenail. It's just so not even hardly there. It's just a little slit. The tiniest little slit. And you're going, that's just weird. Some of the dolls have big toenails. Not this one. His toenails are teensy weensy. Just like that other doll I was just doing before, Autumn. She didn't have very big toenails either. They're just the tiniest, tiniest little things. Well, I got a puddle on that nail. I got to get it off. Still running a bit. This is only the second coat, so we're still needing to go thin. It doesn't catch good on even sealer, not this thick paint. The heaviness of the paint pulls it down, and it'll get down here in the at the base of the nail and just look like a puddle. So we have to be careful. That's an ugly look, a puddle on their nail. Okay, that's his nails and lips done. And his feet are done and his hands are done. So when we come back this time, he's going to be ready to take some layers. And we'll do 3 different colors, 2 layers of each one. So that's what we're going to do. And in the meantime, while he's baking and everything, I'm going to dip these brushes and get them back in their containers over there and go through them containers and see, can't I get the ones that are wetter over to one container and the ones that are drier over to the opposite containers and get them sorted out. I have some really, really skinny ones in there that don't even hold any paint. I'm thinking of taking them out because it's just a waste of room. Anyway, we'll get him baked and we'll be back. So please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and happy reborning.